Hi Gemini, welcome to your weekly love reading. Let's see what's going on for you this week in terms of love. Three of Swords, wow, heartache. And Five of Wands, competition. Okay. So that competition kind of changes what I was picking up a little bit, but I'll say like both versions of what I'm picking up. You're so perfect, I don't think I can be that perfect. Okay. Can we start all over again? So this is my own creation, this deck, and you know, this was the initial print of it, and I've obviously realized there's a spelling mistake there, but I will correct that because I am aiming to sell these cards in the future. So can we start all over again? I was holding on too tight and it was too painful. I grew up with bad role models. I have no clue how to love you like you deserve. And you're the right person, but at the wrong time. Okay, so that will explain why there's been a lot of drama. Okay, so there's a lot of complicated energies here is what I'm feeling. Or this person is feeling like there's a lot of complications in your connection. Okay, so the Nine of Wands in reverse, defense in reverse. So it starts off with the defense in reverse, and next to it is the Three of Cups and reunion. So this person, they're currently feeling as though they wish that these defenses, these comfort zones, these fears would dissolve so that you can have a reunion. So what I'm picking up on is some of them, they have these choices between you and someone else. But for some of you, I'm feeling that they want you to let down your defenses. They want a reunion with you. Some of you have these other choices between them and someone else. Maybe you got bored with the state. They just feel like there's not going to be success here, so they may have become disheartened and heartbroken at the thought of things just not working out, or your connection may have been at a stalemate. I feel like this person has wanted reunion, they have wanted things to come forward, but they're seeing it as you've had your defenses up as well. Even if you didn't realize that, they can see that you had walls up. And you weren't fully choosing between love and fear either. I know some people will deny that, and you know, okay, this reading may not resonate with you, but for a lot of people watching this, I do feel like you had walls up and you were in a comfort zone. You had these swords like defensively, like trying to protect your heart, fears of heartbreak. And some of you may not have realized that until some tower moment or something happened, or there was a lack of success, because that success is in reverse. Maybe this connection came toppling down, but then it meant the illusions came toppling down as well, and there was a transformation with that Death card. But the Six of Wands, it normally shows the soldier coming home after being successful in battle, and the whole town's like cheering them on, and like they're a hero basically. So what I'm picking up on is this person has felt within your connection that you were wanting them to be a hero, to come in and save the day or rescue you or be that knight in shining armor. And you know, I don't mean this to sound condescending, but sometimes, you know, we can kind of laugh at fairy tales, but then we can then realize that we still have had some of our own like fantasies regarding the conditioning that we've been brought up with. And so this person just didn't feel like they could really be successful in living up to your expectations or living up to your desires of what you wanted them to represent to you, what you wanted them to be. And so that may be why they had defenses up. They were like, if I get too close to her or if I get too close to him, they will see that I'm not who they want me to be, and they may reject me. You know, they may see me in a bad light. I may fall off the horse and no longer be a hero in this person's eyes. So some of them, they may have been wearing the masks to try and be what you wanted them to be, but they just didn't genuinely feel like they were capable of giving you or providing you with what you were wanting from them. And so that was why there was this crossroads kind of energy. They've wanted to move forward, but then they were afraid to. It's like that catch-22 that I've mentioned before. They were afraid to move close to you in case they disappointed you, like their true self, but they're also afraid of not moving towards you and that disappointing you. You may have been the one who had choices or had to make a choice between this person and someone else, because in this deck it's like the woman's looking away and it's the man that's looking at her and wanting her to choose him. But you may have got bored because there was drama, things going in circles, no forward movement, and you may have felt like it was becoming toxic, like putting your life on hold. I feel like this was no one's fault. I feel it's like they didn't feel good enough, and you may have deep down not felt good enough as well, and was secretly or subconsciously, wanting them to commit to you so then you could feel lovable after all, you know, if your inner child was feeling wounded and unlovable. So competition. They may be currently feeling that there's competition with someone else, like someone else has got your attention, or you're with someone else, or you've moved in a different direction. This could be that third party situation, or it could be both, you know. For some of you, this person may have chosen someone else, and so now you've walked away and you're with someone else, or it could have happened the other way around. However that resonates, but yeah, they're wanting the reunion and the defensiveness to be taken away. If they feel like you've put walls up, they want you to soften your heart, heal any heartbreak, and have a true transformation of this connection. You're so perfect, I don't think I can be that perfect. So they'd put you on a pedestal. Many of you had put them on a pedestal, and you both had the same fears that the other person was too good for you. And that Six of Wands can represent that pedestal and someone falling off the pedestal, or fears of falling off that pedestal. So it led to stagnation. It's like this person was kind of there for you or was thinking about you, but then they weren't there for you in the 3D. And they were feeling the same way as well, like you were always there for them, but they didn't want to take that leap of faith and disappoint you if you had some unrealistic expectations, you know, surrounding them, you placing your happiness on their shoulders and making them responsible for that. Can we start all over again? So yeah, there's been a lot of drama, there's been a lot of roller coaster. This connection has got very tangled. I often think of twin flames as being a ball of wool. It's like you're both the same thread, but it's almost like they're one end of the thread and you're the other end of the thread, even though you're all one still. And then there's this huge knot in the middle, and twin flames have got to try and unravel that knot, but in the process and in a state of fear, it gets even more tangled up. I was holding on too tight and it was too painful. So yeah, they felt really, really deep longing, but there was just this energy of a stalemate. Many of us have this illusion that it's about the other person just making a decision to take action and make it happen and sort out like the commitment. But it's always an energetic dynamic. If we aren't in a place of self-love within ourselves, if we don't have a healthy relationship with ourselves, we cannot have a loving, healthy relationship with another, especially if it's twin flames, because they're mirrors of each other. So these blocks were on both sides, and I feel like you're both holding on to each other too tightly. There was too much codependency, which is a fear vibration. It's a belief in loss. You know, we think, oh, I'm going to lose this person, so then we try and force it to work. We try and hold on to it at all costs, but that's subconsciously a belief that it's not going to happen, so we've got to hold on to it. So, you know, whatever we believe is what we manifest due to the law of attraction. So if we believe it's going to fall apart and it's not going to work out, then sometimes it manifests in that way. I grew up with bad role models. I have no clue how to love you like you deserve. So yeah, this person knew that you deserved the best. They know that. And they just didn't feel like they were in a place to be able to provide you with what you deserved and what you were wanting and really needing at that time. They haven't known how to love themselves because of a difficult childhood. You're the right person, but at the wrong time. So yeah, this person, they feel like more healing has to happen. That may be a contributing factor to why they may have moved in a different direction, or why you may have as well. Like it feels like the right person, but it's like that ball of wool is too tangled at this time. There needs to be more healing on both sides. So let's look into these messages here. How does this person truly feel about you? Disheartened. That's exactly what I said. They felt disheartened, or someone felt disheartened, or both felt disheartened, and so they thought, okay, maybe it's just not meant to be then if it's so complicated. And then they may have tested the waters with someone else, just to see, okay, well, maybe it's supposed to work out with this other person. But if they got with someone else, it's probably because there was lessons there to be learnt with that other person, or for some, you know, it may be another soulmate that you meet that you're supposed to be with. Inner child wounds, yeah. Exactly what I mentioned. The inner child wounds were creating drama, triggering fear versus love. Because our inner child wounds are really, really brought up to the surface in these connections, because they have to be worked through. And often twin flames can cling on to each other so tightly because they're trying to avoid facing those wounds of rejection and abandonment. And sometimes that's exactly what manifests heartbreak, like our biggest fears coming true, feeling abandoned, feeling rejected. But it's so that we are forced to work through the wounds. Otherwise we could spend a lifetime just trying to run away from them by focusing too much on getting that love and validation from our twin flame outside of ourselves. Reminiscing. So this person is reminiscing about the past, reminiscing about times you shared together, or if you were together in the past. Thinking about you a lot, having those regrets, like I said, wanting to return to more harmony with each other, fear of intimacy. So yeah, I feel like this was the mirrored energy, a fear of intimacy, a fear of being open and vulnerable, because that lays us wide open to be rejected. And so it's like both of you kind of pussyfooting around that fear, trying to somehow avoid facing that fear, but you know, it wasn't working. That fear, that wound needed to be healed. And if you were holding on too tightly, then a tower moment likely happened to force you in separate directions to work through that fear, that wound, and really heal it individually within yourselves. So one final message. Longing. This person is deeply longing for you. And I feel like it became too painful. You know, when you really want like reunion and you feel like the other person's running away from you and you long for them so much, you long for their acceptance, you long for their approval, you long for their love and their loving words. And with this energetic misalignment, that wasn't happening. And this person was longing for you so much, but these wounds were blocking the reunion, and they just felt like they couldn't cope with that obsession that can come from such deep longing. You know, they felt so consumed by this, thinking about you all the time, thinking about how to make it work, intense worries about everything falling apart and losing you. You know, sleepless nights, not being able to concentrate on anything else, and feeling worried at the same time that time is ticking by, and you know, they may be missing out on finding that happiness with someone else if they felt like, oh, it's so complicated, then maybe it's not meant to be, kind of thing. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.